Now the next one is the device management. How many devices you can attach to a computer is actually limited. So how many devices it can attach and perform in a well certain manner, that is the device management it is doing. And all the time our PC or our laptop or even our smartphone or tablet or whatever you are using, if it can use the internet, it is surely having so many devices inside it. Like the Bluetooth is very common, like the Wi-Fi in most of the devices are very common, like you can attach to the printer your phone even these days, and all that kind of things. So that is the device management we are talking about. The next one is the networking. Networking means the set of the spider web. Well, I will show you that in this same section we are in right now, but just understand the networking is the connections. Okay, so the next one, ninth one, is the user interface. How a user is able to interact. Why Windows got famous? This is the question. Why Windows got so much popularity even though Linux is free? The window is officially not free. So why we go for the Windows? Because the user interface is very easy to operate. I do not need to be a programmer, I do not need to be a computer engineer or computer scientist to run the simple things. It is graphic, it is easy to use. That's the user interface. And all the modern operating system are using the user interface as the priority, but few of them surely are meant for the professionals. So it do not necessarily need that, the unnecessary stuff like the graphics. They can operate everything from the command prompt. So this is what a computer scientist, a computer engineer actually thinks like. So they do not need any kind of that thing. But it is good for the common people. And actually for the engineers too. We do not know all the time all the things, so it becomes easy when it is user interface is easy. The user can interact with the operating system, by the operating system to the applications easily. Okay, now the next one is backup and recovery. What is backup? Backup means keeping a copy of the original document or original file. That is the backup. And how do we recover that? Even in the case it is got lost, we have a recovery. Sometimes we use the recovery tools and sometimes we have our own recovery ways. In our own recovery ways, you can imagine like in all of my previous courses that I have ever made, I am having all of them as a backup at many places, but one of the easiest place to understand is an external hard disk that I'm having, a hard disk that get connected to the devices, and I have kept all the copies in that one. So that is my recovery tool. If I ever need or it got deleted from the entire internet, I still do have that in my hard disk. So that is my recovery tool. What else recovery tool is talking about? Like if you deleted every single thing, you might have heard this popular notion that once anything gets uploaded over the internet, it really never gets deleted. You can never delete it. Virtually it's become difficult to recover that. Few files becomes very difficult to recover. It might take so much resources, money and all that thing, but once it is there, it can be recovered. Always understand this thing, it can be recovered. There is always a possibility of the recovery. Yes, we can say that recovery chances are less. Yes, we can say that the percentage of the recovery can be less or more, but we can recover it. That is what you should know as an engineer. Okay, next one is the virtualization. The virtual world. What is the virtual world? The virtual world is actually not the real world, but the thing that you can simulate. That is virtualization. So we can simulate the things, or by using the graphics and all that. How much it performs well, that is a function of the operating system. Well, I'm not going into detail of that, but we are going to understand that in the later sections. Okay, the next one is the performance monitoring. I want the performance monitoring all the time when I am creating the courses, because it becomes so much data that I have to monitor my CPU, my cache and everything, that it got not full. Because if that gets full, I have to do something, so that basically I have to delete the older things so that it can get back to its normal speed. That is performance monitoring actually that's the performance monitoring helps us with, to understand that how much its performance is. Like if you're using the 2G internet and you are trying to run a file which needs the 5G internet, there is a huge gap. It will open but it's slow, so that is the performance. Its performance is low. That is the performance monitoring itself. Now operating systems performance monitoring can always be seen by its memory, data, process, speed. There are so many factors that helps us to monitor the performance of the operating system, how much it is good or bad at the current time. That's why the newer versions are important. When a newer files and newer technology comes up, we need to update the things, because to increase the performance monitoring. But after a saturation point, we cannot update our softwares because our hardware will not be able to work at that such speed or that such intensity. Okay, the next one is time sharing. Time sharing is one of the most important concept. We are talking about the single user information right now, but the time sharing works in transferring and opening the process. Like you must have seen that if you are trying to transfer through any medium of the app or something, like I once tried. Let me tell you its story. It's very interesting and you can understand it like the engineer's eyes way, right? So let's understand this. Once I opened an app, and in that app I was trying to send 100 photographs. From the gallery I have selected all these photos. These are so many photos obviously. So 100 photographs I have chosen, and in 50 of them red color is used with the same background. Everything is same, just a very much little bit slight difference. And my processor or the highway, let's understand it in this way, don't get surprised that I'm calling it a highway or doing that kind of things. I'm just bringing up your imagination. What are these highways, what are the buses, and what are all that things? We are going to understand that in a great detail when we study the computer organization, architecture, and the digital electronics. So just for now, these are the highways in which the data in terms of the photographs are going to travel. Now in my device, red color can be provided to 4 sections and I have only one highway, let's say. Okay, and why these highways and these red colors are important? Let me tell you that. Because a computer or a machine do not know what is red color. They are the codes like 000101. Let's say this is the code for the red color. Now this code must be encoded and decoded at source and destination. So I am encoding it. Now to encode this, I have 4 places for the red color, let's say. Now all these 4 are going to receive the red color, but if I have 50 who are asking at the same time, let's say 50 peoples are asking at the same time to 4 vendors to give them red color, which one of them you are going to give the priority? That will hang our system. Our system gets stuck with it. This is why sometimes our phone gets hang, or the things are not sending up, or it got stuck, in simple words. How much it can perform better when 4 people are asking the 4 places to serve something, it becomes easy. But now 50 are asking 4 to give all that things at the very same time, then it becomes difficult. It's just rolling and rolling and rolling like this, and sometimes it fails also. So that is the performance we are talking about here. Okay, we will understand this detailed story, and sometimes to solve this problem we need different algorithms, and we need our operating system and the contact of the integrated circuit to work in a mutual way to solve this problem and give the time to each thing to get solved. That is time sharing. Like if I say that each one of you will going to get that in 0.1 second, 0.2 second, 0.3 second, and up to 0. Let's say 1 second. Now it knows that 0.1 second is for me, 0.2 second is for me, but if everyone demand at the very same time, it will become impossible. Okay, so we have got the idea of the time sharing. Now the 14th one is system calls. The system calls so many times, like one file is calling the another to get fetch the data, and by sometimes it is using different resources. So all the resources contacts are in the operating system. So operating system helps us with that. Okay. Now the next one is the error detection. Whenever there is an error, like we just seen, I told you that here that it will going to serve us the report. It will going to report us that it is getting hanged, or it cannot be transferred, or sometime it is transferred, like the double tick. I know all the messenger apps use these days the double tick thing, right? So double tick. So what it is the report that yes, it is sent. Now when it gets highlighted, like let's say it's in red, it is red, we say the receiver has read our message. So that is the report. Now if there is an error in between, that is the function of the error detection to tell us that what the error is and to report us. So in a very simple way, I have tried my best to give you a best presentation of what the functions of the operating system actually is. We're going to study all of them thing in detail, but as I told you, this is the foundation for this entire course, and not just the entire course actually. Even when you study the operating system section anywhere, you are going to go through all these things in a great detail, how it solves problem, what it actually is. But I give you a great idea and understanding, and now you are not a layman in understanding what are the functions of the operating system. So let's keep this section to this point. I give you the example and functions, and about the types, we are going to study its type in the next one. Stay tuned.